Greetings, this is the Timeshare Traveler, and today is episode 118. How I earned 132 free nights in 2022. Well, that's an absurd amount. I even shocked myself. But I want to talk about what made 2022 so unusual for me or for earning points. And then I'll talk about the 2022 summary so I can break down how I did that. And then I'll go into the three timeshares that I own: Hilton, Worldmark, and Marriott. But really, the point is I'll walk you through how I did it. It's not necessarily the number as much as how I got there. But anyway, let me tell you a little bit about my channel, then I'll go into the details of how I got all these points. Hi, this is Cliff, and I'm the Timeshare Traveler. Welcome to my channel. The purpose of my channel is to educate those who love traveling in timeshares. I've been an owner for 15 plus years at timeshare ownership. I have elite ownership with Marriott, Hilton, and Worldmark. I have published over 100 timeshare video reviews, and I've published over 95 timeshare tips. I can be found on Facebook at Timeshare Trav, at Twitter Timeshare Trav, and on the web at www.timesharetraveler.com. Well, I'm back. Let me talk about 2022 and what was unusual. How did I end up with 132 free hotel nights? Well, first thing is I kind of was wanted to prove that timeshares were a good thing. I was kind of, I'll admit, obsessed. This was almost ridiculous to how many I ended up doing. But I also wanted to show if you work really hard, there are many benefits to be gained by having timeshares, and I obviously exceeded my own expectations. And you could adventure for a year. Here's the thing that really also for me is I lived in timeshares full time, so I was checking in at least once a week, maybe sometimes twice a week, depending on what I was doing, and so I was offered a lot of presentations way beyond normal, and I have 3 different timeshares that they were all offering me upgrades. And the other thing that happened was last year was kind of the Abound launch. And so really the only way to get information about what was happening is to attend a sales presentation. And I had both Vistana and Marriott, and I was trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I make this work? What should I do? And so I ended up having to go to more presentations than I probably would have otherwise. The other thing going on is Hilton had purchased Diamond, and it was going live at the same time that kind of Hilton was, and I was actually in this case taking advantage of buying more because the merger there was I didn't have any Diamond, and I wanted to get access to that, and so I was actually purchasing some Hilton. So then I'm back and talking to the timeshare companies about what I should do, and I did some complex things. So it was kind of unusual timing on my part. And again, I stayed every week, sometimes multiple weeks, because I would be sometimes moving around trying to do various things. Because I was actually living in timeshares, I wasn't staying. So that's why it's a bit unusual. So that 132. But let me drop into the details so you can see how you can do maybe not 132, but maybe 10 free nights, maybe a week extra vacation. So here's how I end up with the 132 nights. I ended up with 73 Hilton, 30 Worldmark, and 21 Marriott. And I own Marriott, Worldmark, and Hilton timeshares, and I'm an elite member. So I pay all my maintenance. I use the credit cards. I leverage that. When I go to sales presentations, in marketing excursions, I always take the points. I never take the dollars because I want to be able to have more vacations. So just in a comparison, I did a similar video in 2021, and there I did 71 nights, which was 41 Hilton. So Hilton, you can see, is quite a bit higher. I did 22 Worldmark, so not that much higher in Worldmark, and then a lot higher in Marriott from 8 to 29. So that's the summary. Now I'll just go through with the details what I did. Okay, here, first talk about Hilton. And just a general comment is when I use Hilton vacations, I stay 5 nights. And so the example I've used which is I actually had a booking, was 84,000 points for 4 nights, and the 5th night was free. That was 21,000 points a night, and that was on the beach, actually, in a 1-bedroom. I ended up getting upgraded to a 1-bedroom on there. And I earned points through presentations, free nights, because I get one free night for my one credit card, and maintenance fees and purchases. So I have the Aspire by Hilton. It's my favorite credit card. And just to compare, in 2021, I earned 41 nights with 750,000 points, whereas in 2022, I had 1,237,475 points, plus one free night. Like, don't forget that one free night. So I attended 12 sales presentations. That's one a month, and ended up with 700,000 points. And it's partially because I'm an elite member. They offer me a little bit more, but that's 42 nights right there. And I had a free night for my credit card, and I actually used my free night to stay at Biltmore, Arizona Biltmore, which is like $1,000 a night. So it was definitely, the card is worth it for me. The maintenance fees are about 84,000 points. That's 5 nights. And then I did a 25K upgrade to Premier Plus. I bought a used, and then I bought a 25. So I charged all of that on my credit card, and that's how I got over 300,000 points for that alone. I didn't charge all of it, but I charged a lot of it. So that gave me 15 nights. And then I added another 157,000 points, a little more than, probably other expend than the upgrade, probably $1,000 to $2,000 a month. So that ended up giving me about 10 nights on my credit card. So that's how you get it all up, and that's how you end up with 73 nights. That's Hilton. Well, here we are, WorldMark. I did 30 nights in 2022 and 22 nights in 2021. So this is really simple, but this is really basic. If you just do your expense, your maintenance fees on your credit card, right there was 2.5 days. And that's a long weekend. So just paying my maintenance fees, paying on the credit card, paying the credit card off, it costs me $0 to do that. And that's, again, the Hilton's the same thing. Only there was slightly larger. I have a little bit more. And there I earned, over 10 nights. So it's really all about sometimes just using the credit card to pay the maintenance fees, because you get the full points. In the case of Hilton, I have the Aspire card, so I get 14 points per dollar. And again, I attended 15 presentations, and that's because I was staying at Wyndham and WorldMark Hotel Timeshares, and that gave me 418,000 or 27 and a half nights. Kind of, again, this is absurd, and I have to laugh at myself, but that's all, I mean, that's what I did. I never take the dollars, I take the points, and you can have weeks worth of vacations. So my kids are going to get a lot of vacations this year using my points. So it's kind of nice as a family gets vacations. And now, lastly, at Marriott, this one is an anomaly, because it was the only way I could figure out what I wanted to do with Abound, whether I wanted to upgrade or not. I was not wanting to, because I was leveraging. I ended up upgrading my Hilton, but I got 2 free nights because I have 2 credit cards. So that's how I get 2 right there. The other 27 really come down to I used my maintenance, 149,000 points, and maintenance covers a lot of that. Plus, I used the credit card. Those between the Hilton card and that card are pretty much most of my spending. So there was another $1,000 a month. So total of $3,000 a month on spending credit cards. And because I was living in timeshares, I was not paying mortgage or anything like a rent or anything like that. So I was pretty much paying for staying in my timeshares. So I got 195,000 points for 4 presentations. And then they were giving destination points, so I was taking those whenever I could. And that gave me 5 presentations there, and that was 7 nights. And because I had both Vistana and Marriott, I was sometimes getting the presentation for Vistana to get their information on what was going to happen to Vistana when it merged, and then Marriott, what was going to happen with the Marriott when Abound launched. So I was getting it from. It looks like I did a lot of presentations, but really I was working with 2 companies before the physical merger actually occurred. So that's why it was so high. Anyway, this is absurd, but bottom line is, do your maintenance fees. Take the points when you go to presentations. You'll have more vacations. They're going to ask you to do that. You get $150 for the card, or you get 2 nights stay. 2 nights stays worth 300 at a minimum, maybe 400 or 500 depending on where you use it. So there's way more value in getting the credit cards. So using the credit cards or getting the points when you're in a sales presentation. That's my bottom line of how I really did this. Hope you enjoyed. Please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe.